here's a game I just played against Wehrmacht where my opponent went for eventually triple MG. So I figured I would cover this and show how I played against it. I went for a build that I like against Wehrmacht, which is 4 rifles into bar before going captain. I think it's really good against Wehrmacht right now, getting those early bars. They struggle to deal with it. But my opponent had a few tricks up his sleeves, so we'll see what happened. He opened triple Pio, which I actually didn't realize. I thought it was double Pio when I was playing against it. Maybe I should have realized it was triple. I don't know. Also, on this map, Crossing in the Woods, I prefer to cap everything on the side without my low fuel first, because I think this cutoff is really brutal. It's very close to mid, and if you go for this high fuel, you just lose this cutoff and you're out of fuel. Whereas this cutoff seems a little bit harder to harass, and this fuel is just about as close as the other one. So he goes Gren, and he seems to have a similar idea for a capping order as I have because of that brutal cutoff on Crossing in the Woods. He did send one of his Pios. Like, that triple Pio opener means you have so much capping power early, so he was able to come over here, but ran into my scout. Knew he'd lose that fight. Especially, I think my scout gets a bet 1 after I cap that, but then he runs into my rifle, so not much better. But he is getting his half the map. I'm getting my low fuel here. He already got his low fuel, so his fuel income... Oh, it's actually not better than mine yet, because he didn't get this.
We have riflemen taking the field.
Yeah, my capping order for this map, I send my scout to this low fuel, and then right to this high fuel, and I have my first rifle get this cut off. I think you get the fuel in a little bit quicker that way. Let's see, he goes for a second Gren here. Also, I was going to say also coming to the side, but it looks like he switches it over. And my thinking here was I was going to try to cut him off, because I knew we had a lot of units over here, but I ran into his Gren. I was trying to get it over here, go around this way, it wouldn't go, so I figured he'll just get in the heavy cover here and protect the VP. Use this heavy cover here, try to fight this out. My scouts should win this against the Pio. I did enough damage on the approach, and I hit bet 1 just there, so I'm definitely going to win. You don't drop a model though, that's annoying.
Rifleman squad deployed.
Got him able to force that Pioneer away. I have his cutoff here, but it doesn't really mean anything. He doesn't have anything cut off by that cutoff. Same with him getting my cutoff here. It doesn't mean anything right now. That's why both of us went for this capping order, because losing this cutoff doesn't really mean anything. I was going to try to close the distance with this rifle, but another Gren squad came in, and I had to retreat this rifle, so decided to just retreat and save the manpower. Force off this Pio. I think here, soon, I start going for captain, then I change my mind for healing. Maybe it's a little bit later. So here I'm trying to focus down the Pio, because it does the close range damage. But you'll see, he does a good job. As soon as this hits one model, he merges into it. Luckily I had another rifle coming over, and the bars stop. So that was good timing, lucky timing for me. And I try to chase this down here, and with the help of the second squad and the bars, I do get one of the Pios, which is nice. So good timing on the bars for me, and that's, I think, going bars before captain, which you can do now with the new update. I really like that. I really like the timings I get here. Surprised I'm not getting suppressed here. Okay, retreat anyway. Not sure how worth it this fight is for me. but I'm fighting it. Okay, there I go. I retreat.
Contact.
I don't drop a model,
Capture
which is
point is being
nice.
overrun.
Okay, here. I was teching Captain for a little bit here, and I canceled it to go for this healing, because I just retreated 2 squads with 6 models that are like at half HP. So I want my healing. So now I get these back to full health, and it didn't even cost me any manpower, because I was able to retreat in time.
They've cut us off.
And we can see this helped force me away. This is the first MG he builds.
A victory point is under attack.
And he's going for the officer quarter on his Vet 1. So all his Gruns and MGs will get Vet 1. I think that makes a lot of sense with what he's invested here.
We're losing it.
Unfortunately, this rifle gets suppressed. I didn't get it into the heavy cover properly in time. And that was a nice grenade by him. I thought he was
under enemy control.
Get my suppressed squad, but he aimed it at this one. Hey, there's another one, and he threw it to the left there, so I ended up having to retreat. But I do force away the MG on a flank through the VP. I stopped capping the VP on a flank, and I sandwich him with these 2 rifles here.
Support upgrades are en route.
And he's gonna have to retreat.
Commander, the enemy
Turn around
victory
here,
point.
trying to at least drop some more models. I did drop 1 more model, and that's it. He's got a triple cap on me though, so that's not good. I gotta get some VPs under my control. And I don't have any of the high fuels right now, though I am capping this with my scout.
The enemy is stealing our munitions point.
Putting a mine over here. Mine here. Did a pretty good job with mines this game. Maybe he recognized that I probably wasn't going to have an engineer anytime soon. I think he was hoping I'd go for like a Greyhound or something. But even if not, it's just manpower bleed. So if you're floating the munitions, might as well.
One of our sectors is now an enemy.
I think I have the scout. Okay, I'm upgrading the scout right now. It's for the utility package. Want some flares, which I actually didn't use flares as much as I should. It's something I need to get better at in general, to find these MGs before they find me. But also the smoke. And I think I used the smoke here. I ended up not having to. And somehow I'm still capping, by the way. I do use the smoke, but I got the cap anyway, so I just retreat. Now he's already cut off from everything here because I got this, but if I cap this low fuel, it's actually connected for me because I have both mid cutoffs.
Enemy movement near a
So I
victory
go for
point.
that. Get these rifles over. He tries to nade me, I dodge that. I thought this MG was going to be facing this way. That's why I brought this squad in from the flank. But he actually tried to rotate to get this one, so this squad... That's why, like, when you're going for MGs, I think trying to send 2 whenever you can. So I sent 1 the direction I thought he was facing, just so that occupies the MG, and then 1 from the flank. And then it turned out he saw the one from the flank first, rotated, and the one that came in from the initial direction was able to flank him and get the retreat. So you do have to do some planning with your infantry to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Our territory's cut off from supply.
Like you have to say, okay, I'm going to try to... I know my scout retreated over here from the MG, so there's probably still an MG over here. And I suspected it was capping the VP because I saw it was being capped. So I said, okay, it's probably the MG over there. How am I going to deal with this MG? I can't just send 1 squad. It's just going to get suppressed. So, yeah, that's when you try to send rifles from different angles, and that's something, the 4 rifle opener, you have that flexibility really nicely, I think, because you just have so many squads. And I even get a mortar here. Like, he's got that MG, I get a mortar, so I can help deal with it that way. But here, an 8-rad hits the field. That's a little bit of a problem for me. I need to get this squad out of there. There we go. You can also see all but one of my rifles has double bar on it now, which is really nice. So I do decide here I gotta go airborne. I get the AT gun, and I actually should have dropped this in my base because this is not good. And then I miss micro this here. I hit one of his mines now. I killed the Pioneer squad over here though, which is nice.
have anti-tank crews reporting in.
So he's just kind of kiting around my AT gun, and I don't have grenades yet, but he doesn't know that, so I just run my rifle up, and he has to respect that in case I do have grenades. So I'm able to force him back there, and then I know he's going to go for this mortar, so I bring these guys down, and I bring this guy, and I try to focus down the mortar squad specifically. And I only have to kill one model here. There we go. So I'm able to get my mortar back, which is huge. I really don't want him to have that mortar. I capture it with my captain and instantly retreat him, so that way I can keep the rifles on the field. And grenades now did tech while I was doing all that. So I'm able to just keep him at bay a little. You can see heavy infantry comp here. I don't think I got advanced logistics yet. I did not. But spoilers, I will. I forced away the Scred trying to get my low fuel. These double bar riflemen just eat through the grenadiers. There's really nothing he can do about it, except use this 8-rad. So here he's trying to chase down a low rifle, and I think I actually use a mortar smoke here. He does not chasing, but I do get the smoke, which didn't help, but it actually did block my AT gun, so it kind of hurt myself there. I was trying to save that rifleman squad. Really didn't want to lose that. I try to attack around through the smoke here. Miss. And then another 8-rad. So as soon as I see a second 8-rad, I know I need a second AT gun. Like, yeah, maybe one AT gun could deal with it, but it's just going to be so annoying fighting around. And I'm kind of committed at this point to not go for motor pool. I guess I could have, right? I could have kept motor pool instead of getting that second AT gun, gone for a Greyhound or a Chappie. But I think just para-dropping another AT gun and then going for the advanced logistics kind of just makes a lot more sense. So he comes in here, doesn't realize I have a second AT gun, gets snared, gets hit by the first AT gun. This AT gun really confused. And he commits with the second with 2. And he smoked with this one. I don't know if now he doesn't have munitions for the smoke on that one. But just like that, 2 8-rads down. I get the mortar out of here. I get the AT guns out of here. And that's a huge problem for him, because that was his way to deal with my riflemen. Now it's Grens and 1 MG, so he has to get a second MG here to try to deal with these riflemen.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
I know a lot of people, like this patch too, especially last patch, are saying riflemen are bad. And I will say, like a weapon support center build with MGs and bazookas, it is still good, for sure. And I'm only a 1200 player. I'm not a pro. And I'm playing against other 1200 players, not pros. But I think riflemen are still good. I think against DAC, definitely much harder to use. Against Wehrmacht, especially with these early bars, I mean, man, I just really like it. I do think, I am interested to see a Wehr player that tries to go fast P4, or Whirlwind, but with the airborne battle group being able to power drop these AT guns, it means I just save so much fuel not having to tech. I can go into advanced logistics, I can get the survival upgrade for extra HP, which I won't spoil whether or not I do that this game, but I will spoil that I go for advanced logistics. And he gets a grenade off on my captain, so I have to retreat there. Now these AT guns are kind of not doing much. I really should just kind of keep them closer to my base until there's something for them to shoot at, because what I don't want to do is forget about them and I just give one to my opponent for free. So you will see, yeah, I think I keep them in this general area most of the time so I can pull them back real quick. So they're kind of up there if another 8-rad comes out, but they're not too exposed. Like, I definitely don't want them up here if there's no vehicle out that I know of. So I didn't know if there was an MG here, so I chose to smoke. What I really should have done was just use a flare, and I could see if there's an MG, because actually he's got 2 MGs over here. and a third coming out here. So now he's got the 3 MGs. So this is what I wanted to show here, how to deal with the 3 MGs. And granted, I've got a bit of an advantage now because I killed 2 of his 8 rads that he already invested in. But this can still be difficult when I have such a heavy infantry composition like this. I really don't plan on going for light vehicles, and I think at this point now I have invested in advanced logistics, yeah. So I already spent 70 fuel on that. So I have to retreat this rifle because he's kind of blobbing here. He's got the MGs. I'm barraging this MG with my mortar. See, he retreated that. He has a Gren right here. That's Vet 2. He could have just merged and healed on the field, kept that up. Something that's really nice about Wehrmacht is the merge and being able to use that heal. Yeah, my captain here. Right into the MG.
Victory point has fallen into enemy control.
And I already start backing these AT guns up, so you know the Gren's coming. I retreat this mortar. So I do try to sneak a rifle up here. I think I was going for a flank on an MG more so than the cutoff, because there's not really a whole lot to cut off, but
supplies are cut off. We have holes in our front line.
Yeah, I run into 2 MGs. Knocked right there. Get a grenade on his Gren. Only one model, but I forced the retreat. And I stick around here just for the decap. Get out. Again, didn't really cut off much. I think here I should actually capture the high muni rather than the low fuel. Like, I think the high muni point is more valuable than the low fuel at this point. I don't know. I guess the fuel's nice if I want to tech and get tanks or something, but I'm not really using the minis. I could have used this. I really need to use this more, this power drop ability, especially if I need to go for a big push or something. So yeah, here I thought this rifle might die. It's got an 8 rad coming, and this was pretty low health, so I do rotate my AT guns around, hoping at least if he dives for it, I can kill the 8 rad, but he decides not to commit, which probably works out best for both of us. I keep the rifle, he keeps the 8 rad. But now, if we look at the TAC map, he's got an MG on every lane. And this is going to become a bit difficult for me, but I am teching my tier 4 here. I'm building my tank depot. I use the airburst barrage on the Gren here, which is really, I love the airburst. He puts another Gren right in here, which is not great for him. Yeah, and I get double AT gun up here, and I try to sprint for the snare. I'm not quite able to get there.
They have taken our victory point.
I do have to back this stuff up. Here we go. Tries to grenade it, but I'm already out of there. I force off this Gren, kept this high fuel.
Lost the territory sector.
So I've tech tier 4, I've got 50 fuel, my income's a little low, I've got plenty of manpower. And I think it's around this point I'm thinking, what do I get? I'm probably going to have plenty of manpower for the time I have the fuel for a tank. And I'm strongly considering a second mortar here because of the 3 MGs.
Captured a victory point.
But I actually think that decision doesn't come quite yet. It probably should. I'm floating so much, I should just get something. So I used a flare here, and then I see this MG, so I airburst that. And I get suppressed over here. And I think this is where I'm like, okay, a second mortar would be really nice. And I got suppressed over here by this MG. So everywhere I go, I'm just getting suppressed by MGs. And I have the 1 mortar, but 3 MGs.
They have taken our victory point.
I get the off-map barrage from the captain. Also, I've been going for marked vehicle a lot with captain lately, but 3 MGs, and I know there's 8 rads, so maybe there'll be a panther later. That's nice. I get that kill on the 8 rad. I think he came up not full health initially, and I think I hit one and missed one. Then he used the smoke, but then just kept driving out of the smoke, so I was able to get that kill. now, I think this is the first time he barrages with his Vespa that he built. I think he was expecting me to heavy commit into infantry, and I don't think he was expecting me to have already teched. Otherwise, I don't think he would have gone for the Vespa. Because I don't really have many. I got the double AT gun, but as soon as I got that kill, I backed him up, so the Vespa ended up being a non-factor. And here, yeah, I actually go for a rifleman instead of the second mortar. Because I know I'm close to a Sherman here. I just need one more fuel, and there's the Sherman there. So the Sherman's going to help me deal with these MGs a lot, because I know he's now committed for a Vespa, so I'm not really worried about a Panther coming in right away. So this Sherman should have pretty good dominance right now to help deal with these MGs, and then I think the extra rifle squad will just absolutely dominate the map with 5 rifle squads now and a scout and a captain. I can just cap everything whenever I want. So that's why I went for the 5th rifle instead of a mortar here. If I was not getting a tank out right now, I think a second mortar would have been better. But here you can see he's got an MG here, but I've got so many rifles here to start flanking. He tried barraging here because I smoked this, so I end up just capping over here. Just HUD that. I actually might just get lucky, to be honest. He's planting a mine here. And now I remember this MG's over here somewhere, because I was getting suppressed by it twice actually. So I bring the Sherman up just to clear that out of the way. I also brought this guy up on the flank, just so I had some infantry support, and this guy behind to cap the VP. I'm also building an engineer now, so I can repair this if it gets damaged, but more importantly, sweep for mines, because I know he's been planning mines. And the last thing I want is to hit a mine and just get snared to death or something. Gotta get this rifle out of here. I think this, yeah. I get really lucky here. I mean, at this point, I think the game is heavily in my favor with me having the Sherman out. Okay, no, it wasn't here. There was a point where, maybe I missed it, where I came so close to losing a rifle squad. I actually airburst right here, because I know who's going to walk through it. I get a little hit, but then on the retreat I get a couple more hits. And because of that, I'm actually able to wipe this Grenadier, I think. Yeah. So I was really happy with that airburst, knowing he'd walk through it. And if he did commit to walking through it, then he'd have to run back through it when he retreats. So now he's got 3 MGs, but I've got a mortar, a Sherman, and 5 riflemen, plus a scout with flares and smoke, plus a captain with an off-map barrage. So I now have a lot of tools to deal with these 3 MGs. And I'm planting mines. I shifted to sweep that mine. I don't remember if I ever actually do though. And now I'm bringing my Sherman up. So I am bringing my AT guns up. I put one over here, just in case something does come out to fight my... I don't know why he barraged here, by the way. I really don't understand that, but he destroyed his own mine. I remember that. This is a really interesting choice to me. I didn't have anything here. He just targeted his own mine. So I temporarily get a flank on this MG. Then he rotates, but that means there's nothing to suppress this. I've got my Sherman up here. I did try to also come this way to flank this MG, but he's got another MG here. I think I, yeah, airburst that. He tries to